Hi, Jackie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm designing a layout for Hey Little Magpie using Vicki Boutin's Sunset Beach Club collection and also the Hey Little Magpie July 2026 embellishment kit. So I've selected some pattern papers from the Sunset Beach collection. I want to apologise now. I've got a summer cold and I'm so bunged up and a bit croaky. So I do hope that you can understand me on this voiceover. And I'm sorry if you can coughing and clearing my throat. So to start off with, I'm just going to cut some strips of paper. They're roughly 1.5 inches, maybe 1 inches wide. I leave them the 12 inches, but I do cut them down. I do trim them down so they fit on the page. And my design is the reversed L. So my pattern papers are on the right-hand side of my cardstock as opposed to the left-hand side. So I'm just going through, cutting the branding strip off the bottom. I always keep the branding strips because some of the branding strip have additional designs on them as well that you can always use on the layout. So I do always keep the branding strips of these collections. So as I said, I am using Vicki Boutin Sunset Beach Club collection along with the Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit. So when I trim all these down to size, I thought I cut a lot. A lot of it I have cut down. I thought I cut a lot of this down to size. So I will position all my papers that I've got, all my strips of patterns now that I've got on my cardstock, how I want them to look on the page. I do distress all of them. I don't show you that I'll show you starting it, but I don't show I'm doing every single strip. And I do end up cutting some of them down so that they fit on the page, and you will see obviously the end result, how they all fit together. I try to keep the papers in the same format as going diagonally as I go horizontally as well. The photograph I'm using, you can't really tell the photograph actually very clearly, but it's a picture of James and my friend's son in COVID year 2020. We went down to Cornwall and spent some time with them, and James was just sat on the sand. We went down to the beach to watch the sunset, and my friend's son just came and just sat with him, and James just put his arm around him, and they just sat there chatting away and just watched the sunset. My friend's son shares the same birthday with James, so he's quite special to us as well. So we don't, well, he's growing up now, so we don't see him as often as we would like. But yeah, it's really nice that he's got the share a birthday. So on the birthdays, they always, well, we do, parents do, send each other the birthday boy birthdays wishes. Anyway, I digress. So let's get back onto this layout. So, yes, I'm just going to stress the edges of these pattern papers. I just do down the long edges and then I start to assemble them together on my layout. Like I said, I don't show you all of them that I do. So I've done all of them, but I don't show you as I'm doing it. So I start to put them together. I just use a small amount of my double-sided tape on them, just so that in case I have to pick them up, I've not really stuck them down fully. Because as is my war, I can sometimes stick them down fully and then realise I've either put them upside down or I've put them in the wrong place and things like that. So when I do my horizontal ones, I do make a design. Well, I cut a shape at the left-hand side of the pattern papers, as you can see here, just to give it a bit more, another feature to the layout. So I'm just going to put these down here, assemble them all together, try and get them in the same order as I've done the tall column. I do cut this one down quite a bit So I think it ends up about roughly, I don't know, 8 inches, I would think, as opposed to 12 inches. That blue design, so it's faded blue, which is on the big wave paper. So I put them all together, and then the next thing I want to do is, because I just felt that the background paper needed something else, so I'm going to use one of the stencils in this collection, and it's the Sunburst stencil, and I use it with let me see what ink I use it with. It's one of the, I think I use it with pineapple. So I use it with pineapple, and I just do a simple sunburst. I do tuck it behind. I mark where the papers are going to be. And I just want a bit of a flash of a sunburst just behind the photograph, which you'll see what I do. So I do just do it very lightly. Sorry, excuse me. So I just add, yes, I think it's pineapple I've used, in the 4-9 and Market ink, and just using my brush and just brush it over the top. My blending tool, sorry, not my brush, and brush it over the top just to make that design. I don't really do the right hand side because I know it's going to be covered up. I mean, actually, when the finished projects, I've got it in front of me, you don't really see much of the sunburst, but it's just enough as what I want it to do. So again, if you watch my videos before, you always know that I always tend to place all my pieces together, and it takes me a long time to do a video and a layout because I need to make sure everything's in the right position. So now it's time to stick them all down. So I'm going to stick my strips down, so the right hand side, down first, and then overlap the horizontal one at the bottom, as you can see. And then what I should have done, I should have gone through the Vicki Boutin embellishment pack, and separated all the things that I might want to put on my layout. You'll see in a minute that I don't do that. I don't know what I was thinking, because there's 1,000,001 bits and pieces in those packets, and it took me a while to do what I wanted to do. So you'll see in a bit how I do it, and then you get to the end result, because it was just taking I was just taking too long to sort out what I wanted to use. So before all that, I'm just going to add a simple backing to my photographs, just using a piece of blue and a piece of this yellow paper. So both of those papers I've used on my layout in those strips. And then I'm going to add some 3D foam to the back and stick that down. And then next, like I said, I'm going to add my embellishments from one of the Vicki Boutin packs. I will leave in the description box below, I will leave all the links to this collection and the embellishment kits that I'm going to use. So this is the Hey Little Magpie July embellishment kit, which you get absolutely tons of little bits and pieces. It's lovely. So this is one of the wood strips from Hey Little Magpie, and it says "Love This." I was going to use some ribbon, but I just found that was a bit dark, and I didn't really fancy using that lace one either. So I just end up putting all these around where I think they're going to be. Like I said, I do make it does jump to a more or less finished layout. Well, no, I do think I put some things there. So the title for this one is called Summer Adventure. Again, Adventures, should I say. So again, this is one of the out of the Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit. So I've added that fabric piece. I don't know what you would call it actually at the top. I've not stuck it down. And I have put the little fish paperclip on the side, and I do end up stapling it in place, which I quite like. Now I was going to use that dark blue art piece, but that doesn't go on. So I'm just going to add the wood strip underneath. I do add a label at the bottom. When I'm putting the title at the bottom, I find that it was sort of losing itself on the page. So I've added one of the labels from the Vicki Boutin kit, Vicki Boutin pack, die cut pack, just so it gives it a bit more of a base. So I do end up taking this fish and this label off, which says Sweet Life. I do stick it on, and I stick it on the other way because I put the fish going to the right, and it ends up being facing the left. And like I said, this is what I'm doing. So instead of going through the die cut pack and choosing my bits off camera, I sat there and I did it as I'm going along. So it did take quite a while. And you know, there's so many bits to choose from, and I think I would have had it would have been a bit easier to put my layout together. But anyway, I digress yet again. So sorry about that. So yeah, so I've got that little tag on the right hand side, which I do add some blue twine to it, and add some 2 of the charms that are in this collection as well to the tag. You'll see some close-ups at the end. So I've just found this little piece of ticket, so I'm just going to add that there. The fabric flip-flops I'm going to add to the left hand side and just tuck them underneath. I've also added some circle from the die cut kit to the left and the right hand side, that are just there just to add a bit of base for my embellishments and my clusters. I found this banner that said "So Salty," and as we were at the beach, I thought that'd be nice to add at the top. So I had it at the top, more or less overlapping the left corner of the photograph. So that can just rest there. I did add some 3D form to the back of it so that it gives it a bit more dimension. And it's also in line with the photograph because the photograph's got 3D form on as well. So now I'm going to add some of these many starfishes. Some fabric. There's some, I don't know if it's, what would you call that? I don't know. Plastic ones with a hole in, so you could thread those anyway. And some glittery ones. So I had 3 to the left. 3 to the right and 2 to the left near the shoes. Near the flip-flops. Like I said, so here I am. I'm still going through the collection and finding bits that I wanted to use. So on those 3 little word things, one that says summer vacation goes over towards the flip-flops, and the one on the right hand side says take a break, which we were doing as you can see in the photograph, or the boys were doing as you can see in the photograph. What else have I done? So yes, I'm still going through the collection, and I thought, this is ridiculous. Why am I doing it this way? I don't know why I did it this way, because normally I don't do it that. I normally go through the collection and find out what I want to use. So I think this is where I've put everything together. This is where I'm putting the last bits together. So yeah, so here's a few close-ups. I've put all the little bits and pieces that I found out. I also went over and added some splatters using the Pineapple 49 and Market ink. So thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry about my croaky voice. Hope you can get some inspiration from this collection, and also check out the embellishment kits that Hey Little Magpie put together. I'll put all the links below in the description box. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye.